information on the internet about what is the topic today. Should the internet be censored by the government? Oh, boo, 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 come on. Come on, no way. Censored. Pros and cons. There's censorship. That's right. Speaking. Pros. Limits access to harmful activities. censorship applies. Right. 時間だ。スピーチをしよう。その前に8分にしとくか。Alright, this one. Well, we live in a world where accessing the internet is indispensable. We can't escape it. Therefore, we have to learn to distinguish good content from bad. But I have found it hard to do so. So I agree with the internet censorship for two reasons. First, some information on the net is dangerous. Some information on the net is dangerous. For example, recruiting for terrorist groups and hacking in general for identity theft can ruin people's lives. At the moment, it's also very hard to trace such suspects or criminals because the net allows them to remain anonymous. I'm certain that internet censorship can prevent such illicit and criminal activities by keeping a close watch on the suspicious online movements of net users. Second, some information on the net is harmful. Some video clips contain indecent and inappropriate scenes for children, such as sex or violence. Today's children grow up using the net because they're curious and mischievous. They may search for certain inappropriate images. Furthermore, children are so proficient in using the net that those around them don't have to know how to stop them from accessing sites with bad content. On top of that, it's very hard to monitor their online activities. Sexual and violent video clips have a harmful influence on both children and adults. We already have a kind of censorship system for movies. For instance, some movies received R or PG-13 due to violence, sex, and profanity, which introduced a similar but strict censorship system for the internet. To sum up, censorship is the best way to limit and decrease illegal and criminal activities on the internet. I agree with the internet censorship. Thank you. That was quite long. What was this one? Profany. Indispensable. censorship, hack for identity theft. Hack. Some people are hacking for identity theft at the moment. Try suspects for or criminals. It's hard. It's hard to trace suspects or criminals. Or remain anonymous. They can remain anonymous. It's harder for the police to trace the criminals. Keep a close watch on the suspicion. Keep a close watch. Contain appropriate scenes. Contain appropriate scenes. Decent scenes. Mischievous people. Mischievous children. Professional. They're more professional. Know how. On top of that, monitor. Have a harmful influence. Proficiency in activities. We use the internet 24/7 to obtain information and communicate with other people. It's a very convenient service. It's unthinkable and impossible to censor the net. I disagree with the internet censorship for two reasons. First, the internet is not only a place to gather information, but also a place where people enjoy expressing their ideas and opinions nowadays. For instance, writing novels on the net is very popular. Some such novels become so popular that they are even published into books and then made into movies. If the internet is censored by the government, fewer and fewer people will post attractive and creative stories. Furthermore, freedom of this expression is a basic and inalienable human right. It shouldn't be taken away on the internet. Second, it's very difficult to decide what content to eliminate and what to keep on the internet. There are all kinds of opinions on the net. Some are biased, harmful, and offensive. Even so, our values differ from each other, and so should our opinions. Moreover, it may be true that some information is questionable, but it's not up to the government but the individual to decide what content to read, post, and ignore. To sum up, the internet is one of the most helpful inventions for gathering information. It's not up to the government, but to us to decide what content is important and what is not. I disagree with internet censorship. Thank you. It's quite true. Government doesn't have any responsible rights to control the internet. They can't make people not watch something by censoring the internet. We use the net 24/7. Unthinkable gather information. Novel. Some people want to be a novelist. Post. Attracting creative story. Freedom of speech. Freedom of expression. basic and inalienable human right. Basic and inalienable. Take away, eliminate biased, offensive. Values differ from each other. It may be true that questionable. It's not up to the government but the individual. What is the individual? That's exactly true. Violate cause process. Maybe true there. Maybe. Oh, you have a good point, but I think you have a good point indeed. Which is maybe true. I'm 100% sure. I'm absolutely certain. Convinced. Just fine. Okay. There are more and more on internet, providing a lot of more information to people in the world. I personally agree with the idea of censorship on the internet for the two reasons. First, censoring the internet by the government protects a lot of people, the public, from something dangerous. For example, there are a lot of dark webs and evil sites on the internet which encourage the people to have the activities like such as human trafficking, like the exchanging drugs. Such webs are rampant on the internet by the effort of the government. Such activities will be prevented beforehand, or before some vulnerable people got criminalized there. Second, censorship on the internet can provide positive impact on national security. In order to protect the national security, the internet means a lot to the self-defense on the cyber world. if they have the censorship on the internet, they will be able to control the websites and information, whether they cannot be leaked or not. For these two reasons, in order to protect not only public but also national security, the governments have to censor the internet in the future. Thank you. 国と個人というか公共の視点でね。もうちょい言えたな。ダークウェブの話もしたし、スイサイドの話もすごいよかった。飛び線の下にどれだけ具体例。大前提がこれか。こんな。Right. In recent years, the internet is worldwide used, and more people are using the internet in a lot of nations. I personally disagree with the idea of censorship of the internet by the government for the two reasons. First, it costs tremendously to censor the internet by the government in order to protect the internet and then watch the websites and then very thoroughly. The government needs to hire a lot of people and the company as well. They have to pay lots of money to the censorship by using lots of taxes. In spite of that, it will not be effective or less effective day by day because they can't trace a lot of websites immersion 24/7. Second, censorship will prevent the freedom of expression of individuals. Under the censorship, it is quite difficult for them to express any opinions because they'll be afraid of being like abused or sent to the prison or jail or imprisoned by the government. It also leads to the communist groups where the nation will take advantages of the people's human rights, and they will exploit people only for the government's sake. In such world, individuals will not have freedom of speech and happiness in the long run. For the two reasons, in order to save the money and freedom of speech, I totally disagree with the idea of censorship of the internet by the government. Thank you. 実際どうなんだろうな。いやー、大前提とかをこれをね意識しながら話すのは結構無理だね。こういう前提があってだからなんとかしてるみたいなね。で結局どうだろうな。censorship personally 両方やってみたけどどっちが優勢かな。でも子供いるときはね情報はセンサーシップした方がいいよね。しすぎるのもな。7対3ぐらいかな。7対3ぐらいでした方がいいと思いますね。一つは harmful influence だよね。二つ目はnational security。 でもあんまりしすぎるとね、しすぎはダメ。しすぎるとどうなるかっていうとnot too much like in China. largely disagree. No, I largely agree with the idea of censoring the internet by the government for two reasons. First, censorship of the internet will prevent harmful influence on people. There are a large number of dark webs on the internet where the government has to deal with, such as the human trafficking sites or the encouraging suicide sites and exchanging drugs. Under such influence, some people are vulnerable enough to be victims. And the second reason is to secure the national security, to have this national security. The internet will be the tools to leak information from one country to another, and it causes serious damages on the cyber webs war. More and more wars will break out in the webs, so the nations have to control the information on the internet in order to be superior to other countries. Althoughいやでも面白いね。だんだん面白くなってきたね。